What are the things that real estate investors want? What do we care about? Cash flow. Okay, and what I really care about more than anything else, write this down because I just got sent a deal from a gentleman today that I said, hey, what's the cash on cash return? And he had no idea what cash on cash return was. Been a real estate agent for 10 years. I care about cash on cash return, which means that if I put money into a deal, let's say $20,000 for closing costs, commissions, maybe a little bit of cash to the seller, and I put 20 grand into that house, I, as an investor, minimum, I'm looking for a 12% cash on cash return. Okay, my average deal is a little over 30% cash on cash return. How do we figure out cash on cash return, guys? Charles in charge. How do we figure out cash on cash return?
It's the money you'll make back, I believe, in the first year.
Or yearly.
Yeah, over the amount that you put in.
Okay, so let's say I want 12% cash on cash return on 20 grand. What would be my return for the year? 2,400. Okay, so 2,400 bucks. So let's say on Flower Street, an agent comes to me and says, hey, Pace, I have this house. My seller bought the house last year, and he bought it on a VA loan. If a seller bought a house last year on a VA loan, does that seller have a lot of equity?
Zero.
Okay, so what can you do as a real estate agent? Refer it to who? Or you could assign it, or I'll pay your commission. There you go. Or if you want, you can buy it sub two. So that's what happened. There was an agent on this deal. This is the real story. Agent on this deal had this listed for 3 months. And what we do on my team, my acquisition team, when we want to go find a deal, we are going to on-market deals, on-market properties, and we're looking for houses that have been on the market for over 100 days. Why? Any agents in here want an investor bothering you for the first 30 days, 60 days, 90 days? Be honest.
No.
The answer is no, right?
Because they're going to lowball.
Yeah, they're going to lowball you, right?
If you can sell at retail, why would you go?
Exactly. Great point.
I just had 13 offers on a deal. Three of them were
Cash.
Yeah, 3 of them were cash. 3 of them were investors. One was at list price.
Okay.
But everything else was below.
Okay, so go ahead.
You were saying over 100 days. What's making you choose 100 days?
Wow, that's a really analytical question. I like that. Well, you could choose 99 days. But I find that the math is just really simple because there is no math. I just choose 100 days. Also through a lot of experience too.
90.
Well, is your question, Pace, why not 105 days versus 95 days?
Well, I was thinking, well, the 90, right, is typically, but you want the buyer to be feeling it after that 90-day period.
I want the seller feeling it.
I'm sorry, the seller.
And more importantly, I want the agent feeling it.
Okay.
Okay, I want the agent feeling it when I go to them and they go, actually, yeah, we are accepting other types of offers. Because for the first 90 days, 100 days, you're going to say, nah,
I'm
we're
accepting everything. You give it to me, I present it.
right. But if a retail buyer is going to buy the property, especially even right now, what's our days on market right now in Phoenix? 50 days probably?
I don't know, because I'm in Orange County.
Oh, you're in Orange. 66 days on. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. So 66 days on market. So that means if I reach out to you on 100 days, the market has told you, the agent, and the seller what the house is really probably not worth, right?
Worth what you.
It's not worth where we priced it. So at that point, do we all agree as an agent, I'm going to be more open to a conversation with a real estate investor, especially if I am a real estate investor saying, would your seller be open to letting me take over the payments if I could get your commission paid?
So now, being a realtor, if we come in at the 100-day point and the contract has expired, basically.
Our contract, I see listings don't expire until 180 days.
Okay.
Yeah, listings are
So
typically.
how as a realtor, do we approach somebody that's under contract at 100 days?
Yes. You're not trying to list the property.
Okay, we're just telling them about.
I will never teach you how to list a property. I will never, ever teach you how to list a property. If you're in this room, remove the listing brain. No listings at all. We're not trying to go out and get listings. That's not what you want. Well, at least we're learning from me, at
As
least.
an agent, you need to be careful As an agent, you might need to be careful talking to someone who is listed right now, because that could be considered
It's
interference.
yeah, it's.
I never said call the seller.
But
Okay,
what I'm hearing her
gotcha.
say is
Okay.
that's why I said.
We're calling the agents. I respect the agency. I will never go around an agent under one condition. I'm a real estate investor, so I'm not an agent. I'm not going to do the same thing you guys do. If I have agents that refuse to submit an offer to the seller, I'm going around you. If you're not going to do your job, I'll do your job for you. It might sound belligerent, but that's how real estate investors think, right?
One of the other things on that, the offer that came in at listing price,
Mhm.
I talked to that person. You know, they asked, hey, can you, I had obligations, I control the property. They went and looked at it, but talking to them, they went from about 930 up to 1,025,000, like that.
Why?
Because there was a listing down the street that just got in a week.
Yeah.
For 138, I priced it $1,050,000 or $1,025,000 because the market, you know, you want to get more people in.
Right.
That's why we got 13 offers and we sold it for
How fast?
6 days.
Okay.
Wow.
This is why I don't reach out to listings. When we reach out to listings, am I calling the seller?
No.
Never.
No.
I never call the seller, ever, if they are represented by an agent, unless the agent refuses to submit the offer.
Correct.
I will call the seller direct,
Well, they're supposed to submit the offer.
but they don't.
Okay.
Okay, and I'll give you a couple of examples of how they don't. And I'll tell you a couple of reasons why agents don't represent the offer. They either A, are not educated on how to actually approach the seller. Because let's go through this real quick. I call the agent, I go, hey, my name is Pace, I'm an investor. I saw you guys have been on the market for 100 days. I might not be your best solution, but I could be a card in your back pocket. So let me tell you how I buy properties. I pay your commissions, and I ask the seller to let me take over their existing payments. And agents, that's like speaking Egyptian to them. So it's not that it's illegal, it's that they've never been educated. Even though there's continued education classes on it, there's all sorts of things about it. It's just not something that's in their wheelhouse. So what they do is they immediately shut down. They go, oh no, my seller's not interested in that.
I could say when you go through school
Yeah.
to be an agent,
When you're in school and you're trying to become an agent, it's frowned upon. Your teachers are already, giving you information saying, no, you can't, this is not okay, this is not okay. Even wholesaling now is a big deal. I'm in school right now.
Yeah.
And the
Did they- have they-
negativity around all of this is huge.
On what?
On subtoing, on wholesaling.
It's all legal here in Arizona.
I know this.
Yeah.
But I'm in class and I have, teachers that are really negative.
Yeah.
And saying really negative things about it. But, these people have been doing this for a really long time.
Remember, they've been doing it a long time.
Right, and they're stuck in their
Their
ways, and it's hard for
Yeah.
them to think about anything new.
Cool. So this is what we're trying to break today, okay? Also, I don't take advice from people that are less successful than me. Kanye West, okay? It's one of the best things he ever says. He says, don't take advice from people less successful than you. If you want to build a portfolio, take advice from people that have a portfolio. If you want to be a teacher at real estate school, then take advice from them, right? Find out the law, get a great attorney. We've got a great attorney here that has a lot of experience. But here's what happens, right? We call the agent direct, say, hey, and the script is always what I told you. My name's Pace. I might not be your best solution, but I want to be a solution for you. And I do buy houses cash too, but I only do about 10 or 12 of those a year. If you have something really ugly and I can get at a really deep discount, otherwise known as lowballing, that's what agents call it. We call it an appropriate offer, is what we call it. I've lost money on flips that I bought. You see a Zillow price at 300, I buy it at 120,000. You think, oh, you lowballed me, and we end up losing money on the deal. So we know as real estate investors where we need to be to buy. Agents just assume you're lowballing them. But we reach out to an agent. I might not be your best offer, but I just want to be here for you as that listing gets to the point where you might lose it. I want to be at least somebody who's going to present this offer. So in this situation, this is a deal we closed on 2 weeks, which is why I chose this house. I got 100 of these I could tell you about, but this is one we just closed on a couple weeks ago. So we reach out to the agent on 3 months. What did the agent say? The agent says, seller is not interested. No. Okay, we reach out on 4 months. Then what did the seller say, or the agent say? No. Okay, on 5 months, what did the agent say? No. On 6 months, which is like a day or two before they lost their listing, what did they say? No. They didn't understand it, and they weren't honest enough to just say, I don't understand what you're talking to me about. And so what we have actually learned to do with real estate agents is we say, I want to educate you. I want to show you where it shows up in not only the IRS publications, I want to show you where it shows up in our Arizona legislation, all the legislation across the country. I want to show you where it's legal. And I want to show you that I close these all the time. I get title policies on these. I get title insurance. I'm closing through a closing attorney or a title company. Can I present the offer to the seller on a Zoom? And that has been proven to be unbelievable.
Because it relieves them.
Well, because the agent is worried, right? The agent's worried that, oh my gosh, you're going to go around me to my client. As they should be, because agents do that to agents, wholesalers do it to wholesalers. People are kind of sneaky in that way. So when I go, let's do it on a Zoom, then that way I don't get the seller's phone number. I don't have any direct communication with them. And I tell the agent, I go, let me pitch this to you, kind of like Shark Tank, where you and the seller are just there to hear what I have to say, and then you can leave off the Zoom and you guys can conjure up some questions and then come back to me. And that's been really effective. This is what we see a lot of times. I'd say about 80% of the agents that we are talking to on market are saying no, 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 all the way through. And then what happens? Now what do I do as a real estate investor?
Go to the seller.
I call the seller directly because I respect the agent. And I respect what they're, hi Eileen, how you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
So I then reach out to the seller directly, okay? And what do you think the seller tells me? I say, hi, my name is Pace. I noticed that your house came off market, became an expired listing. What were you looking for on the market that you weren't able to get? And what do you think the seller says? They blame everything on the agent, right? Which is not entirely fair. You guys can't control the market. And I say, well, we were talking to the agent for the last couple of months, and we were hoping that we could talk to you about maybe taking over your existing payments if we gave you a little bit of cash. I go, what? You talked to my agent? I go, yeah, we tried to submit offers. They said you were not interested. 100% of the time. So when we talk to agents, 80% of the agents go all the way through no. 100% of the time, when we call the seller direct, the seller says nobody ever presented that offer to me. Okay, so for us, 900 expired listings in Maricopa County represents a lot of deals for us to grab. Okay, there's a lot of sellers that have vacant homes. This is what's happening on the seller side that we see. Seller says, I want to list my property because I'm going to move out of town for a job, or maybe I'm going to move in with my new wife. Instead of us having two houses, we're going to sell one. There's a lot of people making payments on two houses now. One of them's vacant. And the agent says, oh yeah, we can sell it for this. 3 months later goes by, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, that seller's not really happy. Okay, so this situation on 4101 West Flower Street is a property that we bought. The seller took $2,500 and let me take over his existing payments, 2.7% interest. Okay, now what am I gonna do with the property as the real estate investor? What do I do? Right, we can do three things. I can either wholesale it, which I'm not a big wholesaler. I will wholesale every once in a while. Not a big wholesaler anymore. I can fix and flip it, but am I gonna be able to fix and flip a house that couldn't sell on the market? Has no equity. What the heck am I gonna do with that? So I'll end up buying and holding this. This property, we're actually gonna turn into a pad split property. Does anybody know what a pad split is?
Yep.
Okay, this property will turn into a pad split. So the main thing I'm looking for as an investor is a property that will cash flow. Okay, you guys can go to padsplit.com, great company.
Right here.
Oh, hey, Ellis, how you doing, dog?
I just walked in late, I'm sorry.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you.
You guys should know Ellis, by the way. He is the representative for Arizona Pad Split. Amazing company. You guys are so dang good at telling everybody what your company is. In 15 seconds, can you tell everybody what your company is? He's like, pressure.
We help real estate investors utilize the multifamily model in the single family asset to cash flow.
That was like 4 seconds.
That's basically it.
So they use the multifamily model in single family to amplify cash flow. So let's say I have a 3-bed, 2-bath house. Oh, dang, I need the microphone. So Robbie's like, so let's say I have a 3-bed, 2-bath house, which that house is. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. You guys will go to that house and you'll go, all right, Pace, the living room could be a bedroom, the garage could be 2 bedrooms. Let's turn this non-HOA property into a, what's the model? There's other companies that have been doing this.
Rent by room, co-living.
Co-living. Okay, it's a co-living space. So essentially what they're doing is they find the tenants, they screen the tenants, and they place the tenants, they collect the money from the tenants, and you guys are renting what, like $175 per room?
In Arizona, we're targeting $200 per week.
Holy moly, $200 per week, I'm gonna be rich.
That's the idea.
So this house will actually turn into a pad split. I took over the property, my payment on this house is $2,100, HOA, 0. And for 7 bedrooms, I'll end up having 7 rooms in this house. You guys have already underwritten this for me. What could I bring in?
At least 5,600 gross if we hit our numbers.
Okay.
Depending on the bedrooms.
But you guys have vacancy, right? You guys have a vacancy, I'm sure. So like, it's not gonna be 5,600 every month, right?
No, it's going to fluctuate. Our average occupancy across our portfolio, we have 6,500 beds in our national portfolio.
6,500 beds.
It's across, I don't know. It's
And you guys are managing that for other investors like me.
Yeah.
You find the tenants, you screen the tenants. You guys collect the money and you pay me after your guys'
We
fee.
manage the tenants too.
And they manage the tenants.
I have a question.
Yes.
Regarding pad split.
Okay, let's say you're turning, you look at a house and you're like, okay, we're gonna turn the garage into a bedroom or two. What are we looking at with like bathrooms?
There's a maximum of 4 bedroom to 1 bathroom ratio.
So one bathroom. Perfect.
What I would do, guys, is after this, you should definitely know Ellis.
Yeah, and he needs his cards. I
Yep,
bought a lot of
and what I'll do, if you guys want it, everybody that registered for this class, we did an hour-and-a-half long class the other day, breaking down multiple houses, all the numbers, every question you can imagine. What about parking? What about HOA? What about air conditioning? Who's controlling the air conditioning? All the thousands of questions you could ask, we did a whole training on it. I'll give all that to you guys, okay? So this property will bring in $5,600 a month. So after $5,600 a month, even though I have a $2,100 payment, right, you guys take what, oh, go ahead, Tyrell.
I just have one question. Could you go into more detail about a pad split, about what it is?
Okay, so I'm going to answer this one more time, and then I'm going to give you guys the training on pad split, okay?
It's a halfway house.
That's one way of looking at it.
One bedroom, 4 bedrooms.
Yeah. I also own halfway houses, a very different demographic of people. Very different. It's like people that are coming in and they're working maybe 6 months. And guys, let's be real. Do you think school teachers are paid properly?
No.
Okay, they're not. How the hell, if I'm a school teacher, can I afford an $1,800 a month payment to live on my own? I just hired a personal assistant, master's degree in child development, master's degree. She's making $32,000 a year from the school district. You think she can afford an $1,800 a month average rent rate in Phoenix, Arizona? Okay, so these are not people that are going through drug and alcohol issues. These are people that are not being paid properly, and they need a place to live. They're respectable. Are you guys having drug and alcohol issues in these houses?
I mean, sometimes you get bad apples, that happens in any rental, but, you know.
Overall, the answer is no. It's one of 15 different exit strategies, guys. I'll give you the training. Basically what it is you take a house. You're not going to do this typically in HOA neighborhoods because it's going to bother people, justifiably. I wouldn't want it in my neighborhood either, crowding the streets. But you use these in specific areas. If I wasn't going to turn this house into a pad split, would I have said this deal was not a good deal for me?
Now he's probably gonna still make more than $2,100.
Right, I would have figured out traditional rental, short-term rental, midterm rental, traveling nurses. I would have figured out, in some houses, we have 15 houses here that are sober living, very specific C and D neighborhoods that we focus on there. Definitely it is an exit strategy that we try and keep out of nice neighborhoods. Old age, right? I don't want to operate old age just because there's a lot of licenses and regulations there, so I would rather lease to somebody who's an operator for those types of properties. So there's money to be made here. The point I want to make here is that of 900 expired listings, how many do you think out of 900, give me the blue microphone. I don't know why it's like we bought this one at Walmart and this one at Costco. Out of 900 expired listings, how many of those do you think this room could buy this month, subject to or some sort of seller finance terms?
20%.
Just this room, right here. 20%. Josh, where you at? He just got paid $18,000 bringing one of these deals to me on one deal. 18 grand. This agent missed out on a commission. And so what I want to talk about today is the process of how does an agent bring these opportunities to their sellers? How does an agent maybe even go to the expired listings and work with real estate investors like us? I want your income to amplify. I want your income to double. And we want to do it legally. 900 listings got expired in Maricopa County. How many will happen next month? Another 900? This isn't 900 right now and then they go away. Another 900 will pop up next month.
It could increase as the listings are added to the market.
Right. So that's the whole point. Does everybody understand the point of this class now? Okay, cool.